Today we are doing a kit up because nothing says coping like sorting thousands of tiny diamonds after a long day. I've got updates, feelings, probably a Rogue Charlie hair or two around here. And yes, we're going to talk about my life and some of its changes. So grab your supplies, pour a drink, grab a snack, and let's pretend this is cheaper than therapy. I am kitting up Dragon by Mikey Bergman. It is a Captured by Radiance canvas that I just did a first look for on my channel. If you're curious about what it looks like, go check out that video. I am kitting up in my new catered trays. This will be my first time using them. I am so excited. I already de-staticked my drills. I did use, what is it called? Static guard, and I put the little dryer sheet thingies in there. Static is even more annoying. I don't know if I'm going to keep the dryer sheets in the containers or not. I don't think I will. I just wanted to make sure these were good and not staticky before I jumped in. I want to try to find a way to make it faster, but this is what I'm doing now. I might change things up in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Let's jump in. So I'm not keeping them order anyways. I'm going to cut off this first row so that the stickers fit better. These stickers are not going to fit. We'll try it like that. I'm going to put my extra bags in here. And then if I have like multiple of the same color, I'm going to keep it in my little rolly cart thing that I just got. So let's try this. I am really excited to work out of these trays. I do have unboxings of them in first thought. I have sad news about Bogey. We had to rehome him and it just breaks my heart, but I'm working a lot. There's a lot of life changes. I don't have the help that I used to have before. So this is just the best choice, one, for his livelihood, because he deserves a lot more than I can give him. Since he was so young, I didn't have the time to keep him completely by my side 100% of the time like I did with Charlie for training. It's just very inconsistent, which is unfortunate because, you know, he's my little guy. He deserves the world. Like, I work 4 days a week. I work very late nights. I want to be able to sleep in a little bit when I'm not working. I did have him over at my grandma's house for a while, but that just wasn't working out anymore. I wonder. So a full bag doesn't fully fit in there. Okay, that's better. Since I work late at night, he was staying at my grandma's for a little bit, but I'm scared that he's knocking her over. She does have a tendency to fall. He gets right up in the walker, and I know that she has fallen before because of him, and it's just not worth that risk. My German Shepherd, Mr. Charlie, has learned how to open the gate. Because we have like my grandma in the guest house and then me, and then we have like our two backyards, but there's a gate in the middle, and he knows how to open that. So they were going over there anyways while I'm working late at night, which is not safe for her, and she's not able to get up as quick as he needs for him to go potty outside. So she was unable to keep up with that. And, you know, it's always a risk when she's falling over the little dog to, you know, be walking back and forth with her walker like that. So it just wasn't working. And I originally didn't think it was a good idea to get him to begin with because of these things and the training aspect, the inconsistency, and it wasn't working out. And it's so hard for me to talk about because you want to teach your kids that it is important that once you get a pet, you keep that pet for life. You make sure you do everything you can to fulfill and make sure it's a happy life. And I don't think we were providing that. He was alone a lot. We all have appointments throughout the week, and I have to take grandma to her appointments. My kids each have summer activities and appointments. I have them. How many times can I say appointments? I'm back in therapy, and on top of me working a lot, the kids are at their grandparents', you know, a lot. So with them being back and forth, they're gone for 2 full days. You know, I come home, I sleep, I go to work, I come home, I sleep until I have to work. So he just wasn't getting what he needs. I still like throw the ball, and I try to do little training sessions with him, with both the dogs and whatnot, but it's just, it wasn't working out. And Charlie is already established. He doesn't have the bad habits like Bogey does, and he's a companion dog. For him, he wants to be by someone all the time. He wants to be a lap dog. He wants to be involved. He doesn't do well with being alone. Charlie does a little bit better. He likes to mind his own space, his own area. When he wants attention, he'll tell you. He's very much like a working dog like that. Like when I leave him alone, he just relaxes. And then when I'm home, he allows me to sleep. But also we have a routine down, and he's already almost 2 years old. So he doesn't need that training that Bogey still needs and that he never really got in the beginning anyways. That kind of really just breaks my heart because he's a good dog. He is smart. He is also very stubborn, Charlie. He wants to learn. He wants to, do good, and he wants to be praised, and he just really is driven by that. Bogey isn't. You have to really be stern and work with him, and it's just not the environment for him. So my kids are heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. My grandma's having a hard time with it, but she also understands. We were having a hard time with potty training because she wasn't able to get him to go outside as consistently as, you have to do with the puppy. So he was having a hard time with that. Like, he didn't go to the bathroom in my house because he had that uber consistency with us, and he would go to the bathroom in my grandma's because the lack of trying to get there. But he also kind of learned like it's okay to go to the bathroom in her house, and he tried to push those boundaries here. But when I'm here, I'm really on top of it, and I would leave the back door unlocked, which for safety reasons isn't okay in my eyes. I don't want to have my back door open every time I'm gone to make sure he's not going potty in my house. I did have him in the crate sometimes, but I work 12-hour shifts, Charlie could hold it. He also knows how to open the back door, and also I can leave Charlie with my grandma. He's really gentle with her. He doesn't get in her way, so I can leave the gates open between houses, and I could even leave him with my grandma while I work the really long shifts and the kids are gone for 2 days. So that's not a problem. He'll notify my grandma. He won't go to the bathroom in the house, and he doesn't get in the way and get tangled up in her walker, and it's just safer overall for him to visit her. And so Bogey was just not getting what he deserves, in my opinion. I am filming at night. I normally don't. I'm kind of talking quietly because my kids are asleep. I didn't want to bring this up in front of the kids and do like a kid up and chat in front of him to bring it up to make all this sadness again. We went to Red Lobster after. It was a lot of fun. They loved it. My kids got to try lobster for the first time, and I don't know, it was just nice. We had like a little dinner, the three of us, and now my daughter is obsessed. She's always been obsessed with seafood. My son, on the other hand, isn't as interested in seafood, so we got him some chicken tenders. I had a lobster shrimp pasta dish, and it was just kind of a little pick-me-up after Bogey went to his new home. The new home that he's going to, they have her husband works from home, so he will be there all the time. He'll be able to be super strict with the boundaries of pottying outside. Another thing is he started marking blankets for his territory, which I cannot have. I have issues with pee and poop, and it just grosses me out. So I was having to wash bedding every day because my kids had a hard time keeping their doors closed, or they like to cuddle on the couch with their blankets. So I don't know where that habit came from. I kind of talked to the vet about it. He doesn't have a urinary tract infection or anything like that, and I just couldn't figure out why. They said it could be the inconsistent with potty training. It could be a way of him acting out and letting us know he might be a little bit depressed. So that was another big reason for me to be okay with giving him a new home. It was frustrating for us. It was frustrating for the kids. And he would kind of like throw fits, and you can just tell he wasn't that happy. Like when we were home and on my days off, because I have 3 consecutive days off in a row, he was ecstatic. Best dog ever. But after me working 4 days in a row, kids being gone for 2 days, and all of that, he kind of would, I don't know, not have an attitude, because he was never aggressive or anything like that, but he would be glued to you while trying to ignore you. And then that's when he would kind of go in front of you, and if the kids had a blanket out or something like that, just deliberately pee on it, just to be kind of like a fuck you, you know? And I get it. I wouldn't want to be alone that much either. I am thinking about having help with Charlie for when I'm working my 2 days and the kids are gone. But like I said, he will have company with my grandma too. So it's not as big of a deal, and he doesn't act like he's unhappy. He still gets his training. He is back to his once a week, just maintenance training that I've talked about in previous whip and chats that I wanted to do with him. My dog trainer also helps babysit the kids, so he gets extra work with that, and she teaches him all kinds of tricks and stuff. We're working on teaching him how to close the back door. That's always fun. And that's kind of just what's going on with the dog situation. Charlie is doing really well with his maintenance training, and you know, that's always fun. Oh yeah, and I also need to get Charlie fixed. He's coming up on 2, so he's fully mature, and the vet said it's okay. His other ball did not drop yet, but it is not growing a cyst around it, so that's a relief. We have been keeping an eye on that, but I did want him to be a little bit more mature before we did go through with neutering him. So that'll be coming up very, very soon. I'm excited for that, because he is starting to get that, like, I'm a macho, mature guy. Definitely way more protective, his instincts. He does kind of pace the house a little bit and check everything just before bedtime, which is kind of funny, because he'll like go through and sniff all the doors, and he has to go into the room like that the kids are sleeping in, and it's actually pretty cute. He's got his big boy bark now. His favorite people is still the UPS guy and Amazon. I don't think he will ever really bark and be all crazy. Like, his big thing is he wants to say hi to them so bad. But we have our regular delivery drivers, and they love him. They give him treats and all that. But the mailman, like the actual like mail dude, came up to deliver some packages that weren't from like the Amazon truck, and he lost his ever-loving mind. He was like, who is this? But I was able to remind him of his manners. And that was kind of interesting to see this kind of more mature change in him, and him not being aggressive, but definitely way more alert and like, hey, this is my area, you know, like, you are not invited. Hoping I don't have to. Trying to not use all the little ones. I don't know if this is too much for this. I feel like it's pushing its limit. Yeah, I'll be able to diamond paint with that. 503. Now, I did mention I am back in therapy. It's going good. I'm working on a lot of hard things. I'm processing some stuff. I'm trying to teach myself how to set better boundaries, and kind of, I don't know, I'm 33 now. I'm learning myself again. My kids are a little bit older and more independent. They're wanting to do more things, more after school projects and priorities, and more playtimes. They're wanting to get out more, so I just find myself not knowing what to do with myself. I also used to be extremely social, and I haven't been nurturing that either. My anxiety is just through the roof right now. It's been building for years. Before, I thought it was my postpartum depression, but I'm realizing it wasn't just that, and I never addressed the real issues that I had going on. And I think that this is the best choice that I could have ever made for myself. I do have like homework of, hey, what are you doing, to see your friends actually? It's okay for me to get a babysitter and dance. It's okay to want to have a girls' shopping trip during the day and have someone watch my kids if I want to buy some things, and just have girl time and adult time. I've been so focused for the last 10 years on just being 100% available to the kids. I've never really took the time to take away, how do I say this without sounding like a total selfish bitch? Take away some parenting time and take a break from it and just spend time with adults and people my age and socialize and build my friendships and actually nurture them. I've not really been good at that. Like, all my friendships, yes, my close friends, they do have kids too, and they kind of realized that. And one of my friends started, saying, hey, I can go on a lunch date without the kids. And I kept finding myself getting out of those just because of that. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be a bad mom if I take a break with it, from my kids? I'm already working 4 days a week. Like, my kids are gone 2 days a week. But I'm learning it's okay that once a month I take an hour or two to socialize with a friend outside of the work environment and nurture that friendship. It's okay to put the kids to bed and talk on the phone with a friend and just, hang out that way. I feel like I was just putting the kids to bed and hanging out watching TV, and I just forgot how much I love people and I love socializing, and I need that one-on-one human interaction. My job is very social, very loud, very obnoxious. I am a bartender. I love what I do, but I need also to nurture friendships out of that. It's not enough to constantly be on. When you're bartending, you are, helping everybody enjoy themselves, not necessarily focusing on you enjoying yourself. Yes, I have fun sometimes. I have started doing a little bit of karaoke on my shift. I have learned that the kids, oh my God, that my customers love when I'm interactive and just having fun and letting loose a little bit. I don't have to be so uptight. Oh my God, I've been so uptight. Like, I don't want to ever have someone see me as like, oh my God, like, the bar scene already has a bad name, and I always cared so much about what everyone thinks of me that I never would just stop and have fun. It's not like I'm partying and getting drunk and drinking and going out all the time. I'm literally working, and if it's a little bit slower, or if I get called for a random, someone randomly puts my name in to sing a song, like, it's okay for me to have fun and laugh and do that. Like, it's not, I don't know. Maybe I just get too far up in my head, but I'm just kind of learning to let loose and enjoy life a little bit more than I have in the last 10 years. I am loving getting up in this. I don't think I needed to do the dryer sheets. Like, there's no static, but there might be no static because of the dryer sheets. I don't know. Another thing that I'm really working on is like my self-worth. And I really lack that. I put all of my value in the wrong places. My boundaries, I didn't have very healthy boundaries. I would literally never think I'm doing enough, that I'm not worth it, that I can't do anything. And honestly, YouTube has helped me a lot with that. It's proven to me that I can have passion in my life. I can really enjoy building a community and being a part of a community. And I've always played around with YouTube, but it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit to that. And I realized, like, I needed to get help. I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And that's okay. That's part of growth. That's part of being like, okay, am I really happy? Am I meeting my needs? Am I meeting my family's needs? Am I doing what's best for us as a whole? Am I doing what's best for me? If I am not exhibiting healthy behaviors, or if I'm not, in a healthy spot, then what am I teaching my kids, what am I showing my grandma, my mom, my family, my friends? And just turning into a shell of a human being, not giving myself the freedoms to learn who I have become over the last 11 years and realizing I'm not the same person I was 11 years ago, and that I have grown, but I've never really took a magnifying glass to that. And sometimes in life, you just have to. You need big changes. You need to work on yourself. You really need to sit and think, like, do I love myself? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Are my needs being met? Am I meeting my own needs? Am I meeting the needs of my family? Like, what am I doing? Who am I? What do I like? What's my favorite color? And all of these questions I had not good answers to, honestly. So I've really just had to take a giant step back and realize that I wasn't happy. I needed a change, and I kept grasping and grabbing, and I could be happy and okay in the moment, but truly being by myself and alone, I always had to overstimulate myself so that I wouldn't think, so that I wouldn't pause and just enjoy me. And that kind of broke my heart. And it was really hard to just accept that I'm not where I wanted to be. Now, I'm not talking about physically, like I have a job, I have a home, I have beautiful kids, but I mean with myself and my love for me and my care for me. And I had to make some big changes and choices to kind of break down a little bit and reset some boundaries and my life. I had to change so many things in my life. And honestly, after 4 or 5 months of a lot of hard work, I mean, my therapy went from 2 to 3 days a week to now I am once a week, sometimes every other week if I feel like I'm really just still working on the homework from the previous appointment. And it's been good. I can tell you that my favorite colors are still green and purple, but I'm also really starting to love like pink. I've never been a pink girly. I've never been one that just loves pops of color. I've been very much like that neutral, not expressing myself girl, and I realized I hate that. Like, I can buy big, pretty, glittery, girly things and just admit I enjoy them. I like them, okay? I don't know anything about aesthetic or decorating or house aesthetic or what turns a place into a home. I've never really stopped to realize my house wasn't a home, and I think I'm ready in my life to turn into comforts that I've avoided before. And I want to decorate. I want it to be bright and colorful and pretty, and I'm excited for that. I am nurturing friendships now. I do go once a month. I make sure to meet a friend, go do something, and it was going to see How to Train a Dragon live action with a couple of my girlfriends, and we made a plan to where the kids would all sit in front of us and then us girls would have girl time in the back. And oh my God, it was so much fun. I did do a girls' night dancing, and I kind of mentioned it before, like I can do that, and I had a massive guilt panic attack when I did, and it was because I felt bad. Like, it was my kids' bedtime, like they would have been sleeping, and I really had to sit and hone in and think about it. And thinking about my childhood, I always noticed when my mom was happier or sad or whatnot, and she would take the time. She'd be like, hey, I need some time with my friends, and she always explained it to me and was always just super honest with how she was feeling and what she was doing and why she was doing it, and I understood. I gave her that grace. Yes, I missed her. Yes, my mom had 2 jobs, but she also explained a lot about needing some adult time or her time, to be able to do that. And I would go to my grandma's house, and I would come back, and she would always be lighter, and I always felt that she missed me. She always had fun things to do when we got together again, and it was always like a one-day thing to like a couple hours. And I can honestly say, thinking back to my childhood, I recognized that, and I appreciated that because my time with her was that much more special, and I want to provide that too. And I do Now that I have experienced that and I felt that guilt because I'm so homebound and dedicated to just being there no matter what, just in case. Like, I get caught up in the what ifs. And honestly, it was breaking me a little bit. And I could admit that. And now I did it again. I did when after my kids like went to bed, and I had gone to do just a little bit of bowling and a little bit of karaoke, and it was a lot of fun. My friend, she kicked my ass and the girl can sing, but you know what? We were goofy, we were laughing, and I genuinely, missed my kids, but I didn't feel the guilt like I did the first time. And I missed my kids, and then after that we were able to watch a few movies together and just laugh, and they could tell, and I could tell I was just feeling better. So I just need to accept that that's okay, and honestly that's lightened me up a lot. So my self-care now is one, I stopped biting my nails again, because for a little bit I was biting again because my anxiety was so high. Therapy, working on things, facing things and stuff from my past that I didn't want to face before, nurturing my friendships and learning how to take care of me, not take care of everything else, which has always been a problem of mine. I get so sucked into everybody else's needs, I just pretty much abuse myself and go over edge, and I'm resting now. I am sleeping so much better, and just, I don't know, from 5 months ago, I feel not like a whole new person, but I feel lighter, and I can take a step back and sit by myself. I can sit in silence for a little bit. I can meditate. I could take a break from my phone, or I can take a break from listening to books and podcasts when the kids are sleeping. Like, I don't have to be so overstimulated to the point where I need to avoid the rest of my life. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I know this got kind of deep, kind of fast, my bad, but I think I needed to get this out. I don't remember if this all fit in a tiny one or not. I think I got the Elizabeth Ward style containers down, like I can look at a bag and see how much would fit and know, but I only have 2 sizes with this. I'm gonna have to organize these all. That's kind of what I've been going through with that part of my life. Therapy is a good thing. I'm a big advocate. I've said it before. I've done therapy before. I'm proud of myself. I'm working on things that I didn't realize I need to work on. And yeah, on to the next subject. I love my job. I've said it a couple times in this video already, but I'm not as fulfilled as I would like to be. I love the energy. I love the hard work. It is a it's a hard physical job. You're constantly moving, you're carrying things, you're shaking, you're moving, you're carrying out food. You have to be quick on your feet. You have to move kegs. You have to remember orders. You're remembering names and little details so that your customers feel like they're visiting a really nice, not a nice establishment, but a place where you're recognized. I notice when the first time you order a drink, I like to memorize it. It's very much helps my mind, and I love that aspect of it, but I don't want to be just a waitress or bartender my whole life. I kind of want to go to business school because I could bring that into this industry, and I could move up in places. I could learn more of the back end. I think I'm really interested in learning about marketing. I want to learn the psychology behind it. I want to study it, but I also want to do just like start with general basics of business school, like business 101, or get like my first degree in business and then specialize in what I enjoyed most from those courses and specialize from there. Because what if I enjoy something else more than just the marketing aspect? So I don't know. I'm dabbling with that idea. Like, I've always been so low on my esteem. Like, can I do it? I've tried college before, but the circumstances weren't right. I wasn't really supported in my thoughts of wanting to go to school and change and possibly go into debt for school. So I think I'm getting closer to where I'm ready for that type of commitment and change and know that I can do it. Because when I was in college and doing college courses and stuff, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That is a given. I enjoy the classroom setting. I do not like online schooling, but I really think it's something that I could do something with, whether it be open up my own place or run another place or be hired to take over for if someone wants to retire, or be hired for marketing teams and open up my own business and have my own little crew to help with marketing campaigns in different bars and restaurants and like those types of things. I can go into catering. I could do so much with that type of degree. I can do different parts for the different aspects of it. Like if they have venues, I could help with like weddings and just like the business aspects of how to do that, accounting. Like there's just so many areas that I could go with it, and that excites me. You know, that change and knowing that I could still be in the environment, one, that I'm most comfortable in, because I'm not going to deny that it is a comfort thing for me. Like I'm most comfortable in the restaurant industry. But on top of that, I still genuinely like the work. So if I could be a part of it, but no, I'm not going to be stuck in the stagnant place with it, you know? I'm getting older. I'm not a young spring 20-year-old anymore. Like I want to be able to move up and help a place run versus being part of the running of that business. Does that make sense? And I enjoy school, so I think I can do it. It makes me a little nervous because I'm already so busy right now. But like I said, my kids are getting older. Like they're not going to be this young for very long. Like my daughter's already 10. Like she's going to be entering her preteen and teenage stage. In 4 years, you know, when she's 14, she's going to be doing a lot more after school programs and projects and wanting to be with her friends more and more independence. And then barely 6 years away from now, she's gonna be driving. Like she could legally have a job and be preparing for college. Like that's not that far away. I remember thinking when my daughter was 1 year old, you know, how little she was. And that's not the case anymore. She's so independent. She is so already thinking about the committee she can be on and what she wants to do in middle school and her after school programs for this year alone. And I'm wigging a little bit. Like I want her to be my baby. Like she's wanting to cook food on her own, and she's wanting to help teach Bowen how to cook. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. So I will have that time. Like I might not do it now. I might wait a couple years because, you know, they are young and I'm working a lot. But as they grow, I want to grow with them and show that it's possible and it's okay. And I want to I want to be able to show that you can start in something and be able to break that habit or comfort zone and grow too. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about that thought process and that thing. Like I'm working on it with my therapist, and it terrifies me for change. Like it does terrify me, but is it really that much of a change? I've already been a manager. You know, I started working in the food industry when I was 14. By the time I was 17, I was a manager. So these things just kind of come naturally. So really, what's the only thing that's going to be changing? I'm going to have a degree in it and I'm going to have more knowledge. Oh no, that sounds terrifying, right? Like it's not that scary. So when I think about it like that and broken down, that I can go part-time and increase how often I go to school and my workload and my school load as my kids get older and gain more independence. I will probably wait until my son is in like 4th grade, because that's when he's going to be able and eligible to do more after-school programs, and he's already showing interest in wanting to do that. So I don't know, like part of me is like, no, you need me forever, but I'm also kind of excited for the prospect of, I don't know, going back to school and doing things. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. So like I said, these are all big changes. Some of it has been a down bit of conversation, a little bit more serious and sad, but overall, I do acknowledge and see the growth that I have done so far, and it's been a long few months. I talked about TV a little bit. I do still watch TV. I'm not reading as much. I was reading like 200 to 300 books a year just to keep myself occupied. I wasn't sleeping. My anxiety was keeping me up, and I just couldn't unwind. It was like I was constantly putting myself in this flight mode to where I had to go, 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 go. No matter what, I could not just unwind. So I did stop overstimulating myself and realize it's unnecessary to read that many books a year. It's absolutely just unnecessary. So I leisurely read now. I'm just re-listening to audiobooks when I have the time to just sit down and diamond paint. I'm rereading the Zodiac Academy series right now because I just got my friend hooked onto Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti, so I'm kind of going along the journey with her. Thankfully, she's she's a fast reader, but I'm able to keep up with her because she physically reads. I do audiobooks, so I'm able to keep up with her in that aspect. And then the shows that I am watching, I do not binge and veg out and fight sleep anymore, but I do watch like an hour or so just to kind of unwind and not... See, this sounds contradictory, but it's not. And just unwind, you know, mindlessly just let my imagination go. As you know, I was writing books for a while and kind of burnt myself out on that. But I don't know, like it's nice now to not watch TV to feed my anxiety. It truly unwinds me some now, and I love that. I've been watching, of course, when I'm folding laundry or whatever and the kids are doing whatever, just for background noise, I put on Supernatural because I love that show. At night before bed, I've been watching a little bit of Grimm. I used to hyperfixate and just watch episode after episode after episode when I get hooked. I don't do that anymore, so I've been kind of switching around. I've been watching Grimm. I've been watching a little bit of True Blood. If I want to clean while I'm trying to unwind from the day, I will put on Supernatural because, I don't know, something about that show. It gets me. It gets me. Oh, I watched Legacies. I got sucked into that show. So I had watched Vampire Diaries many, many years ago. I'm talking like as it was coming out, I was watching the episodes. And I kind of forgot about it. And then I found Legacies, which is like a spin-off of that show. It's after Originals. And I didn't realize that it was connected to... Vampire Diaries, and oh my god, it reminds me of, do you remember Goosebumps? The books? I used to read those books as a kid, and it kind of reminded me of like a teenage, angsty, high angst Goosebumps show. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it sucked me in and let my imagination go wild, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't even try to pretend like I didn't enjoy it. It is silly, it is goofy, it's just like the perfect teenage show, and I absolutely indulged. I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't go back and rewatch episodes just to laugh, and just the story of it, and I don't know, it was fun. And then I started watching, what is it called? The Originals after, because obviously I put two and together and I was like, Mystic Falls, that sounds familiar. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, Vampire Diaries. And then I looked up like the story order, so I did it out of order. But you know what, whatever. If I would have watched the Originals first before Legacies, I would have never watched Legacies, because the Originals is so high action and go and convoluted relationships, and everyone hates each other but they need each other, and always these battles, and just full of being fucked up to each other but still needing each other, and I don't know, it's a lot. It is an emotional roller coaster that never has a conclusion, and it was kind of stressful. I didn't really appreciate that. So I haven't gone back to watching that. I realized I hit all of the points that I wanted to talk about, so I finished kitting them up, and isn't it pretty? I do still have to put it in somewhat of an order so that when I go to grab, I know where to grab. I think I'm gonna keep this as like numbers, and then put this, make sure it's in alphabetical order, because it's not quite in order right here, and then do it by symbol, and then try to do it just by symbol, like, or, well, I might try to do the same on this one, because I do have some numbers in this one and letters over here, just like I do with the smaller ones, but obviously I don't want to like mix the large ones and the small ones. But if I keep them in somewhat of that, then I'll be able to keep it in an order that I will remember. I do have drills that did not fit in the containers. I'm gonna put it inside the little pocket right here. Well, hopefully they'll all fit. That might be annoying to get out when I need to refill. I don't know, we'll see. I may or may not keep it like this. But then this way they're all together still. Yeah, so they fit tightly. I should be able to, yeah, I'll be able to zip it shut and then just be able to reach for it. Yeah, I might have to take them all out, but that's just, it is what it is. I am going to put these guys back in the little Elizabeth Ward container that I have. I keep little cut dryer sheets in here. I use the unscented ones. I get them from a natural grocery store. Sprouts is the one here that I use, because I can't handle strong smells. There's these. Put that there, put her back in there. And then my trash cup will be for the strips of the stickers that I cut, so I can put them in the trash later. I literally stuff her until she's too full. And then, obviously, my little organizer is empty. I will be putting the extra bags for when I kit down inside here. And I'll probably write Dragon on here so I know. And then if I ever use the Ziploc bag again, I can just put a label over it and then write a new name. So I try to reuse these. Kitting down will be a new experience, but I mean, that's why I'm doing a deep dive on these systems, to see how I can kind of change things around. There she is, all kitted up. Oh, I'm going to be showing off my new station and how I'm going to be doing things. I did change stuff up a little bit. There will be an update on that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it got deep there for a second, but I guess I had a lot of shit that I needed to get out. I really needed this and enjoyed, you know, just kind of honing in on what my passions are. And, well, diamond painting is still there. So I will see you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!